Frank from Adventures Outdoors. Today we're going to teach you or show you some of the ways that I do for rabbit catching. And so we, I grew up on rabbits and rabbit soup and stews and stuff. And so we're going to catch some to bring home to my dad. And so hopefully you follow along and we'll have some fun. Let's go. So this is a rabbit pen. We'll also set, if we find paths, so this is really ideal where you don't really know where the rabbit paths are. We're not seeing too many. We've seen rabbits here. It's just the paths are not really apparent. We have no snow down yet. When you get snow down, you can really see where the rabbits are running. But this is really, really good where you don't know. You put some apples out, they'll come to you rather than you going to them. And let's continue on and see what we got. And we'll check these snares all week. We're here hunting for the week, so. I think a responsible trapper or a responsible, rabbit catcher will also flag where they're rabbit catching appropriately, because, snow comes, things happen, you forget where they are, especially if you set as many as we do. And this will be set up now for next year and the year after. Well, I won't have to go through all this rigmarole. The first time setting stuff up, you can come back and use the same ones year after year sometimes. You might want to change the area out or whatever, but I still like to flag these so then there's no question as to where they are, where the snares actually are. So my dad, he bundles them up in snares of 15 and puts tape on them, and then all you have to do is just pull them out, because if you don't organize them like that, it just becomes a pain in the ass in your backpack and everything else. So so this is really quite convenient to have them like this, and then you can just pull them out one at a time, and it just makes it so much easier. So what you want to do is you want to create a loop that's roughly, now I got a fairly small hand, but that's roughly about the size of your fist. Okay, so it ends up hanging like that, and you want about this much ground underneath. You don't want the rabbit putting his paws through and then his head through, or catching him by the paws. So you want this up above the ground, and this becomes problematic when it snows because as it snows, if you don't check your snares regularly and it comes up to here, the rabbit will put through and then you'll body catch them, and it's just not humane. So I mean, I don't it's not a good thing. So you want to do this as humanely as possible. So you want probably about an inch and a half under above the ground, so that he goes head first into this, and once this tightens up, it locks in. And I'll tell you, it doesn't take very long. I've literally caught rabbits where they entered the snare, and I heard some thrashing, and I come back, and they're almost dead. It doesn't take very long. If your snare is too big, you run the risk of body catching them as well. So there's a sweet spot there in terms of the size, because you want to get it right around their head, get their head through, and get it around their neck. So we'll put this one on, and then you can see. And the other thing that you got to try to do is get this. I need this a little lower. I'm going to have to cut that up. So right like that, and then you want to take sticks, and you want to be able to force the animal
into the snare. So what I do is I just get a whole pile of sticks, and then put it right beside the snare like that. So now, if the rabbit comes this way, he's got no choice but to go through that in order to get at the tasty treat I'm going to put inside. You don't need a lot. I just put a little bit in here. And you'll pick up, I mean, it's possible to pick up partridge and everything with this. And now I'll put a snare on that back one, which I should have done first. You can, yeah. So, maybe I can, there's nothing to make. It's the snares. Here we use a steel cable. I've used everything from picture cord to copper wire to all kinds of stuff. Now these ones here my dad made for me, so I don't know if you can see this, but I find personally the best way to do this is to get that little tag and put it through the hole like a half hitch, okay, and then that may not be quite long enough. My method takes a long time to do. But and then so you get a half hitch there, and then you wrap the big wire around the small wire a couple of times, and then the small wire around the big wire a couple of times, and that will end up then when the rabbit catches and thrashes for, I mean, it is very quick, like the rabbits don't thrash around very long, but when they do, it doesn't come untangled, and it's kind of locked in there, so they can't really get out. So, you know, normally we just make them up about that long. That's it. They don't have to be very long, and that's it. You got to check the code in the province or state you're at, because some places require certain types of snare wire. So you just got to be careful. So you just want to make sure that you're following the code and go from there. So let me tie this one on, and then it will be good. One of the things you've got to be really careful of is, look how loose this is. See how this just swings? When you go to do these, you see how it's wrapped around the wire, and this is like a slip knot? That's not the way to do it. So let me show you if I can. You can do one of two things. You can put a stick in there to tighten it up, and then there's another way to do this properly. Maybe I'll get Joanne to hold the phone, and then I can do it and see if I can demonstrate this. But you need that tight so it doesn't swing. So the way you want to attach it to the stick is not by wrapping the wire around like that, but by wrapping the two wires around each other, and then pinch and twist to tighten this up as much as you possibly can on the stick. So now it's not a slip knot, and if it still has some play in it, what you can do is, let me see if I can find something here that's gonna be that thick. But you can, if it's still a little twisty, put a little stick in there. There we go. Now that tightened it up. Now you see how that's not
because what happens is the rabbits go through, and this thing will just, if it's too loose, it'll just swing up the snare. So so you don't want that. So just a little tip for you. And the other thing is the hole should be about the size of your fist. That's a good way to judge how big that hole should be. All right. I can't really see this from this angle, but let me get this set and then we'll show you. Now it doesn't swing so much. This might be a little bit longer than what I would like, but that's okay. This will work. So to go down here, I think I got, no, I didn't see the mark, but so we've been showing you how to catch rabbits. Now you got to know how to skin them, right? There's a really easy way. It's very fast. I see all these people putting them on stretcher boards and skinning them out and all this sort of stuff. You know, that's fine if you're trying to save the hide and the fur. This is a meat animal for us, so I'm not trying to save the fur. We don't need it. So if they're semi-frozen, it's the best. But all we do is just cut them right behind the head, get them started, and then basically just peel the meat, peel the fur, and it comes off pretty easy. And usually peel them back like the paws till you get to the end where there's no meat, and my knife is getting dull. You can get really good at this. There was a time where I was able to do this in about 30 seconds, but when we were doing, you know, a lot of rabbits, you know, it takes, you know, you can go really quick. Try to keep as much hair off it as possible. And same thing, just, you know, cut tendons off, crack the legs, and these guys come right out. It's cool day here. Holy smokes. And we will wash these guys, and they're similar to chicken, right? There's not a whole lot of fat on them, so we usually soak them in and brine them. So a bit of salty water, take some of the blood out, and so forth. So now you've got the rabbit like this. Find out where the chest bone is right here. I just make a quick incision here. Stick a finger or two in. I'm trying to be elegant here. Just so you avoid cutting the stomach or the bowels. Now you can pull the stomach and the guts right out. Hopefully YouTube will let me post this. Some people hang on to the heart and eat the heart. It's really good. Yeah, I've done quite a few of these over the years. There's no two ways about it. Split them open like that. And voila, you're done. You got to think that realistically, I mean, you know, this is nothing more than butchering a chicken or something like that. I mean, it's just what it is, right? So if you want to live like this, if you want to catch rabbits and gut them, then you want to prepare them properly so they don't go bad. And then we'll go and clean out all the blood and all that when we get back to the camp. So I'll just lay this in the moss and cut off his head. And there you have it. One fully gutted rabbit. Not a whole lot of meat on the buggers. But I'll tell you, this meat right here along the back, oh, that meat is so good. It is unbelievable. That's it.
And it only takes a few minutes to do it, to remove the fur. This is the finished product after the animal's been, the skin has been removed and the innards. And I go ahead and take the rabbit. I'll take my rabbits home, and I said then I'll wash them. Maybe at least 3 times I would do that, because in order to get all the fur, all the bits and pieces of fur, one thing or the other, that might be left on it. But anyway, and then I just let them drain in the kitchen sink, and eventually put them in the little containers like this, and freeze it. And of course it will last. This rabbit here, this particular rabbit in the deep freezer, it's been here since November the 15th. So anyway, you can see there's no frost that formed on it at all. I like to double bag them after, because I find that prevents many frost from building up on the rabbit.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. Check out the details below in the description. There's lots of information in there. And please leave me a comment. Leave me your thoughts. Love to hear from you guys. I always try to reply to everybody's comments. As well, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell to get the notifications when a new video has been uploaded. As well, if you like this video, you'll find more just like it right here. And don't forget to head over to my website by clicking right there. Thanks for watching.